Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tooth and Claw. It's our second episode, and we hope to have fewer technical issues this time. This is the game of Chronicles of Darkness, where that is Kevin Zarnicki, myself, and my esteemed partner and best friend, Ashley Turkowski, switch off in a one-on-one game of Chronicles of Darkness. Last week, you saw Ashley run for me, playing as I played William Ravelowe, a vampire. This week, we introduce her character, Artemis Pendergast, a werewolf. But yeah, we hope you enjoy. Please feel free to follow the listen along down there with your own Spotify, YouTube, what have you, so you can hear what we hear. And we welcome all comments and subscribes and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, so hope you enjoy. You ready,
There's
Ashley?
also, there's a link underneath the video and more, I think it's in the welcome that you can just click on to listen to the playlist we're listening to.
Exactly.
If you don't want to search for the song yourself.
Which, I mean, who's got that kind of time? So, yeah, there goes nothing. You ready? All right. So, that on repeat. The sky is a uniform gray, but you've come to expect that. In the months since you came to Seattle on an extended sabbatical, it's become de rigueur to see the rain. At first, it wasn't a pleasant reminder of Hurricane Katrina. You thought you'd had enough rain to last a lifetime that night. But since then, you've come to enjoy it. It's become a redemptive experience. The emerald green, the trees, the friendly people, the smell of it all. It doesn't have that sweet smell of jasmine for about 4 minutes and then 10 seconds of the smell of open sewer sewage that you've come to expect from New Orleans. This is definitely a vacation you needed. And the fact that Darian is right there by your side makes it all the better. At first, you thought you would just check into a hotel for a minute, but after a while, it became clear it would be more cost effective to get, say, an Airbnb. Play house for a little while. You didn't have to tell him what you wanted. After all, he's psychic, right? And you didn't have to explain cost-benefit analysis in any kind of argument. Because you work for the IRS and he knows better than to argue with you about anything that has to do with money. So is there anything you would especially like to have done while you're in Seattle before we get started?
Because I forgot, is Darian working or is he also on vacation?
He has saved up an exceptional amount of vacation time and is spending it on you. After the events of Hurricane Katrina and the psychic backlash of that event, he certainly needs the time off. And given all the things you've gone through, you could use a break too. And who the hell is going to argue with you?
So probably just spending the time like sightseeing, doing normal people things.
Normal people things. Your exploration of the city tells you, as a human, that it is exceptionally liberal, sometimes to the point of being marketed as liberal. There's a definite sort of hipster presence. You know, it's definitely got that the nearby Portland influence. But there's also a kind of quiet Cold War that you can sense between the artsy Pacific Northwestern population versus the rapidly expanding corporate coalitions. The dividing line between hipster and yuppie is not as clear as you would think, because the corporate side is slowly assimilating the indie side and making it its own and trying to camouflage itself as, oh no, we're free thinking just like you. Return to your dorm by the time your curfew is up. It is a little unnerving to think of that happening back home in New Orleans. You imagine what would happen if corporations were taking over these historic buildings, gutting them entirely, and then hanging the facades of their classic architecture on the outside of neo-modern plastic and glass buildings, like the heads of animals hunted down and mounted on a wall. Less a celebration of the past and more of a trophy of some kind of conquest. You can't help but feel an encroaching and spreading presence across Seattle. Something is eating it and converting it and changing it. At the same time, you're not entirely sure that that represents a massive metaphysical threat that you need to deal with. Because on one hand, you just did that. On the other hand, there are already packs here. Because just as you as a human can enjoy walking around, the fish market and seeing the offers of tours for the underground and, walking around the wharfs, seeing the woods, the beautiful hiking, the rapidly expanding, I won't name that corporation that starts with a G and is slowly eating Seattle alive. You also have the supernatural side. You're still newish to being a werewolf. You have a far greater depth of experience than many would have ever had. The degree of violence and challenge that you have encountered is incredibly deeper than most have to deal with in their first few years of change. That doesn't change the fact that chronologically you are still new, right? So there's a certain excitement that is still new to you when you smell the other local packs. The territory is divided up the way you'd been told it would be. Baton Rouge didn't prepare you for that. New Orleans certainly didn't prepare you for that. You left just as that territory was being redivided amongst the returning Uratha of New Orleans. Now, you can smell it. Not exactly smell it. It's not exactly a smell. The way that seeing something in the spirit world isn't exactly your eyes. The way that dreaming isn't exactly your eyes. But you can, for lack of any better word, smell when you enter the territory of another Uratha. These are old places that are held, well-contained places, places that have been kept in trust for a very long time. They smell like old battles. They smell like new battles. They smell like places that are cherished and cared for. It is not every place that necessarily smells of it. Not every square inch of Seattle is claimed by wolf packs. And to be fair, on one of your nature hikes, every once in a while you smell it a bit more, and there is a peace to it. A kind of cool and collected and harmonious sense of guardianship, rather than active repulsion of an invasion or conflict. You don't actually meet them, though. For whatever reason, they keep their distance. But you definitely pick up on some of them. You feel some downtown. The one that you note the most is the one by Multnomah Falls. Technically not in Seattle itself, but Corbett, Oregon. Sometimes you guys go driving in the countryside. There, that place felt serene. But yeah, what really confuses you is the strange sense in some places where the scents of the spirit world seem to fold in on themselves to create a strange compound effect, as though several things were happening at once. It's hard to put your finger on what exactly it means, but something's off around here. Something's strange. It's very hard to figure out just what exactly that is. I'm not hearing you.
Can you hear me?
That's
It's
better.
nothing. It's nothing I ever felt.
It feels vaguely familiar, but no, nothing you can directly put your finger on. You would know some things by their smell. When you passed some vampires during an Uber ride, you were aware, well, those are vampires. You even pointed them out to Darian at those. They looked at you like, did we just break the masquerade? What were you doing? Gary, what were you doing? I was doing nothing. Damn it, Stuart. So, but yeah. Do you try to investigate or make contact with any of these particular forces, or is this your fucking vacation? You want to be left alone?
Well, I mean, Artemis wanted a vacation, but at the same time, if something's off, I'm not gonna ignore it. Because that's not me.
That's fair.
You know, that's that. What was it? Oh, I wasn't technically a cop, but I was a special agent in New Orleans, so that special agent instinct of,
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but you would probably do said investigation alone. Darian may
Yeah.
be psychic and may be trained, but he's still a fleshy little human.
Yeah, he's easily squishable.
Yeah. Not like you big furry war machine.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what of the 3 factions that you have detected would you like to investigate? And if more than one, which one first?
I guess, okay, so there was the one in Oregon, right?
Yes.
And then where were the other 2? Were they in Seattle?
In downtown Seattle proper, you found the most sense of local kindred.
I'll leave those for last.
In the general area, you find that weird shifting feeling. It's really hard to put your finger on what exactly it is. It doesn't quite feel. Oh, it's so hard to put your finger on it. It's not a spiritual thing. Okay. And yet it's something that affects the spirit realm.
Maybe I probably want to check that first. It's closest.
Well, it's everywhere.
Okay, then I mean, it's in Seattle though, so I'll probably look at that first, just because if it's something that's sort of with the spirit realm, that makes me nervous. Considering the last big threat that I dealt with that had to deal with the spirit realm was a big ass Melsion.
It's not untrue. All right, so so in the general area of Seattle, walking, driving, taking little walks, you're able to spot a few different areas in a very in a very, very broad sense of the word, where you get a weird, shifty feeling. One of them is in the southwest area of the city. It smells smells a little more natural here in some places. It's hard to explain. It's as though some stain within the city normally is no longer present. It's the kind of thing you never would have picked up on except by its absence. Like when you walk into someone else's home and you note that there is a slight difference in the smell. It's not that it's wrong, it's that it's someone else's home. And here, something's different. Not really sure what it is.
See any like spirits around?
There are always spirits around. An absence of spirits would be weirder than spirits around.
Kind of spirits are around?
For the most part, very normal ones. There's nothing out of the ordinary. There's nothing trying to breach through the veil. There's nothing offensive to the senses or trying to hijack bodies. Just the remnant intelligence that sprouts up from the pools of emotion that people create. Would you like to check the next one?
Yeah.
In the northwest, every once in a while, you smell popcorn, taffy apples, human sweat and excrement, soot. You know what's really weird about this is that every time you try to trace it to its source, it's as though it was going through a revolving door, like it vanishes. And then you pick it up somewhere else and you head towards that, and it just sort of. It doesn't feel like somebody's trying to hide it from you. It just feels like an environmental thing or timing. There are 3 more general areas you can check, or you can play with this one. Or whatever you want.
Not really sure how to play with this one, so I guess I'll just keep going.
It's the first session. Remember, you're not solving shit this time.
I know. I'm looking at all my moon gifts and I'm like, these are all for fighting.
I mean, after your previous experiences, who could blame you? Let's see. In the southeast, every once in a while, you can pick up this antiseptic smell. It's like give me a memory check.
something that helps me with my memory. Thought I did.
I believe it's wits plus composure.
I know, but I thought I had like. No, I guess I don't. Okay. 7.
What? It reminds you of Dr. Michaels.
Oh no.
Also, remember, at any time that you want to make things more interesting for yourself and get a free beat, you can declare that something is a dramatic failure. You can choose to make it harder for yourself for more beats, leading to more XP. Just a reminder. And yes, if you try to make it about something minor, I will find a way to make it a huge snafu later.
Okay. Do I smell Dr. Michaels around?
You know Dr. Michaels' smell pretty well. It's not him, but something about it reminds you of him.
You said I sensed werewolves around, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they stay away from me?
They seem to. You still don't understand Uratha culture well enough to know if that's normal, or are they supposed to come and challenge you, or what? You could try to approach them.
I was gonna say maybe I should try to approach them and ask them if they can explain what is all of this.
All right. Well, there's at least a couple of packs in the city that you've caught the scent of. There was also the one that's a drive away in northern Oregon. What do you find most interesting?
I'll stick to the city for now, Seattle for now.
All right. Whoop, I had a hiccup.
Yeah.
Let me just turn this back on. Beep boop. Okay.
Okay.
That's a lot better than last time, huh?
Yeah, at least you came back right away. I was like,
Yeah.
oh.
We'll keep it up. All right, we'll keep it up. I can live with this. Okay. So, let's see. Da-da. Here we go. You are still unfamiliar enough with the city that naming a neighborhood wouldn't necessarily make sense to you yet. How do you want to approach them? Time of day, form?
Oh, I'll stay in my, because there's people around, I'm assuming.
Depends on the time of day. I mean, if you choose to, you could come at night as a wolf or as a person. You find a private place to shift over. You know, you could show up anytime as whatever you want.
I guess I'll come as a person. Maybe tiny wolf.
I love how you think wolves are tiny.
Non-threatening. Well, it's tiny compared to all the other forms.
the not brotherhood of the wolf.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it Urhan?
Mm.
Urhan form.
All right.
Non-threateningly. I'll go at night, so there'll probably be less people around. Although I could be mistaken for a dog, a large dog.
with no collar. You trot along, picking up the scent much more keenly than in your mortal form, or in your human form, I should say. And you definitely pick out the scent. Leads you up and down, back ways, sideways. It's as though the people in question, the werewolves in question, have obfuscated their trail through some kind of classy way. It's complex, but kind of cool, you know? All right. So in this particular case, you're going for downtown,
Yeah.
and you find yourself at a place that a sign reads as Westlake Park.
Okay.
It's not a very big park. There's a couple of buildings right by it. It's not far from Pike Place. There's a candy store and a Sephora and an Arc'teryx. You know, it's very on the like tourist and upscale yuppie side, but it's nice. It's a well-maintained little park as well, with a very geometric looking fountain that is like a four corner, I don't know, like it goes up and there's a bridge and it connects to another thing and water comes down the sides in the breach on the sides. It's very pretty. It's very modish, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
And as you are
Um.
trotting,
So, if they're close, would Know Thy Prey help me at all? Be able to tell anything about them?
remind me what Know Thy Prey does?
So I can gain knowledge. Well, they're not technically prey, but of my prey, as long as someone around me knows something. I mean, they're not technically my prey. I am not hunting them,
Could you
but
be a little more specific?
well, you'd roll my wits plus socialize plus the my honor
Mm.
dots, and then like I could, I don't know. I would want to know. I guess I'd want to know if I could tell if these are Bale hounds.
Well, from your own experience, you know the one thing that Balehounds have going for them is that you can't
Yeah,
detect.
I know.
So my answer is no.
I'm just so nervous. I know I just got out of that. I don't want to get back in that.
Keep some secrets for our viewers. Gee whiz.
Sorry.
Um. Okay. So, uh, you
Yes.
can. Hmm? Go ahead.
Are they? No, never mind. Never mind.
The park is home to. Well,
Homeless people.
no. As a matter
Oh,
of fact, there's kind of a stunning lack of homeless people in most of the neighborhoods you've checked out.
interesting.
It's, I mean, you know, you're from New Orleans. You're used to the buskers, the dusters, and the crust kids, you know? That's
Yeah.
just part of the landscape. And anybody who, you know, walks around long enough, their jeans end up smelling kind of crap. But here, it's suspiciously clean. Like at first, you took it as just, well, New Orleans is New Orleans, and there's no place like it. And that may well be true. But it doesn't change the fact that you've been to other cities and there's generally homeless people, and you have no idea where the homeless people are around here. At least not in this neighborhood.
Okay. That's worrying.
There's the odd late night jogger. There's, like, you know, a lady jogs past you wearing spandex with a smartphone strapped to her arm and earbuds playing some kind of techno theme, and you can smell the cocaine on her. As you look towards another group, you can hear them babbling about some band or another. Not quite your scene. And then you hear it. To mortal ears, it would sound like a strange kind of growl bark, and it would be quiet enough that they wouldn't necessarily hear it. But for you, it cuts through the splash of the fountain or the chatter of nearby humans. To you, it is the old tongue, the first tongue.
Growl means they're angry, right?
Not necessarily. Hello, outsider. As you turn to look, you can see that it is another completely regular wolf.
Tiny wolf.
It's standing just around the corner of the fountain, almost like concealing part of its body and looking around it at you.
Okay, sit down. Hello.
Steps out cautiously. This is a dominance posture, you're pretty sure.
That's why I'm sitting down.
Walks over toward you, circles you very quietly, and you hear a couple of growls from different directions, and you know that there is a pack here and you are surrounded.
Yep.
That was stealthy. As it continues to stalk around you, who are you?
My name is Artemis. I am new in Seattle.
You come alone.
Yes, I am a lone wolf.
What is your tribe?
Don't technically have one.
A ghost wolf, then. What is your business in our territory?
Well, I am here on vacation. I live in New Orleans.
The wolf stops. It would be comical if you weren't in danger. It was circling around and coming around to your front left, and I'm on vacation. It stopped, paw still in the air, and blinked. The wolf adjusts and sits and looks at you. Vacation?
I work for the IRS and I
Blink.
need a day break.
Blink.
I am not a typical werewolf.
Did you reject the oath of the moon?
Not that I know of.
Are you not initiated into the ways?
No, not really, no.
This is our territory. Surely you smelled it.
I was looking for you guys because there have just been sensing some weird stuff around here, and I was wondering if you could shed some light on it.
Without a basis for comparison, there certainly isn't any way to determine what is weird for you. You are certainly weird.
Oh, well, there was that. Where was that area that was like the revolving door?
Well, all the areas have that sort of sense of evasiveness.
Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, I say, there's like this weird sense of like it's like you're in, when you're in a place, and then it's like a revolving door, and it's like it's trying to. I don't know the werewolf term for it, but the vampire term is like it's obfuscating itself.
You know of the blood ones?
Yes, there's a
You
lot of them
understand
in New Orleans.
You understand their ways, but not the ways of your own people?
Well, there was a lot of them in New Orleans. And werewolves weren't actually allowed in New Orleans until now, recently. So,
You hear the yip of laughter from around you. Not quite hyena-like. The wolves of New Orleans cannot hold their territory.
it's this whole big thing.
Oh, we felt the echoes from that direction. And the songs have been sung across this country and beyond, between two worlds and perhaps more. Whatever happened there, that was a dark thing.
Took care of it.
You took care of it.
Yeah, and the rest of the wolves there are, I don't know what tribe they are, but they're there and they're making sure it stays all good.
You take your duties very flippantly.
Well, I'm not one of them, and it was their territory first, so I just let them have it.
Let them. You have a high opinion of yourself, young one. I do not deny that I desire to test myself against you. That kind of strength is no doubt something to learn from, or its arrogance to put in its place. Either way, this is neither the time nor the place for it. But know that I would welcome the challenge.
Well, I just came for information.
We do not know what it is. There is a strange duality to this place.
Oh, so you didn't do it?
No.
Oh. Do you think the vampires did it?
What do they know?
Oh, well, they don't know a lot, but because they don't know a lot, they caused a really big problem in New Orleans.
Supposedly eternal life, and yet they somehow find a way to spend all of it knowing nothing of the true nature of existence. Sad existence, to be sure. But not largely our concern. At least not beyond the underground. I suppose perhaps you've met them already, seeing as you're on such better terms with the bloodsuckers than your own kin.
Oh, no, I've seen them around, but I don't care for vampires, really.
More to your good taste.
Well, I mean, except... Never mind.
Continue.
I have a friend. He's a vampire, but that's just... I have a lot of interesting friends.
I suppose it's not unheard of.
Some kind of princess girl and...
What?
We don't know what she is. She doesn't know what she is.
This is an odd pack you speak of.
Oh, nope. I don't have a pack. Looks around like nervously, making sure the big bad wolf's not around.
To answer your question, no. Whatever has caused this is certainly not the vampires. They seem oblivious to it. Even for us, it is difficult to pin down. It's not something from the spirit world, and yet somehow the Hissel recognizes it. But in a strange way. Our spirit speakers do not know what the nature of this thing is.
Okay, wait, hold on. Out of character. I definitely don't think that this has anything to do with a Melgin, right?
It does not have that flavor, and you are well acquainted with that flavor, at least of one of them.
Okay.
But if this is, then it's a completely different feeling than what you're used to. But it doesn't have that same fever, hot breath, raw meat, blood, hate, and lust feeling that you're used to.
Okay, but that doesn't mean it. It just means it's not that Melvin.
Possible. You were only privy to the machinations of one.
Right.
Which is a lot for anybody.
Yeah. Okay. What tribe are you guys from, or part of?
We are a mixture. There are many kinds of threats here, threats that need addressing, but the majority of us are of the iron.
Wait, of the what?
We hunt people.
Mm-hmm.
We don't eat them, obviously.
So what do you do with them?
It is enough to prey on the things that make them do what they do.
The werewolves that are in New Orleans, what were they again?
Well, again, tribes have more to do with the thing you hunt than
Right.
a political organization. It's different from kindred. So, for example, an Iron Master considers humans their prey, and to an extent, therefore, vampires as well, and anything that like hangs around humans the most. There's hunters in darkness. They go after hosts the most. Bone shadows go after the spirits of the shadow. You following?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, blood talons hunt other werewolves.
Okay.
It's complicated. I love running for you, but werewolf is tough for a vampire guy.
So if you don't eat them, what do you do with them?
The hunt itself sustains us.
You don't have to eat?
Of course we have to eat. It's just a question of what we eat. You are new, aren't you?
I think I am only about maybe a little over a year old.
Gracious me, just a pup.
And, being in New Orleans, not having a lot of werewolves around, I didn't learn a whole heck of a lot.
Your auspice, then?
Oh, I know that. I am a star wolf.
The wolf actually seems somewhat taken aback. It draws back slightly. You are not then truly of the moon.
Well, I guess not. But why do I always get that reaction?
You're kind of rare.
Oh. Prophecies and such, right?
So they say. I've never met one of the less traditional auspices myself. So you are Namda.
Oh, what that means.
Wolves of the stars. And
okay, sure, yep. I
and
guess
an
so.
agent of the Internal Revenue Service.
Yes.
Who hunts with vampires in New Orleans.
No, I don't hunt with them. I hunt alone.
And was privy to the feeling we felt ripple out from that place so recently in time with a very hurricane.
Yep.
And you're here on someone else's territory on vacation.
Yep.
You are a strange one, aren't you?
So I've been told.
Know this. We shall know if you enter our territory again, and you will not enter it alone. We will be watching. You may speak with us again. I find your tale curious enough to follow, to ask more of you in the future. Perhaps you will join us for a hunt.
Well, yeah, okay, maybe.
Your knowledge of the undead ones may be of use to us, if you wish to earn a place among us. Beyond that, know this. 5 places in the city have strangeness about them. I cannot give them any specific geographical nature, only to say that they are regions of the city. The southwest, the southeast, the northwest, the northeast, and the east all have some strangeness about them.
Okay, well, if it's not you or it's not the vampires, could it be Frankenstein's?
What?
Are you familiar with the term Frankenstein?
Of course I am. I am not a wolf all of the time. I've watched movies. What are you talking? The presence of werewolves and vampires does not mean that everything Universal Studios ever came up with shows up. This isn't the Monster Squad.
Okay, well, I had someone I thought was a friend. He was a Frankenstein.
I suppose you've also associated with the creature of the Black Lagoon?
No, do those exist?
Of course they don't.
Okay, well, no, but he did. He was real, and he was
No invisible men?
well.
Perhaps you cavort with mummies in your spare time?
No,
Namdar?
just the princesses, the vampires, and at one point in time a Frankenstein.
Insofar as I know, there is only what strangeness exists in the 5 regions of the city, which personally I attribute to the will workers and so-called mages. I doubt the vampires have the means of accomplishing this. Or perhaps it is simply some natural phenomenon. It has been here for as long as
Where can I find the mages?
We don't consort with them. They don't wish to be found by us, and we don't wish to find them. It's a very equitable arrangement.
Well,
They know well enough that if they attempt to hijack our loci, that they will pay the price in blood.
can I go find them?
You're the tourist. I certainly won't stop you. I can't
Okay.
guarantee other packs will be quite so generous.
Okay.
Beware the underground. It is haunted beyond all conception and is held quite thoroughly by the vampires.
Oh, well. Okay.
I would also recommend staying away from the Deva Corporation campus on the east side. There's a strangeness there. Very disconcerting.
There's no organ legging going on around here, is there?
I beg your pardon.
That was a whole nother thing. I mean, like, supernaturals aren't being killed for their organs, are they?
Not that I'm aware. Our concern is the health of the spiritual world and its harmony with the physical. The maintaining of the border between this world and that, as the oath to Father Wolf dictates. Beyond that, we have very few concerns, and it is enough work maintaining that without dabbling in the concerns of other lesser creatures. Since you travel alone, you should know that there are sightings of the pure. Be aware. The wolf that walks alone is easy prey for them.
Great.
I assume you know what they are?
I have heard of them, yes.
Good. Hopefully you have heard that you should fear them.
Yep.
At least you should.
Okay. Okay, well, I'll catch you later, I guess.
If you wish to hunt this territory, you will not do so alone. Beyond that, if you wish to hunt with us, it may be interesting to see what you're capable of. Do you have further business with us?
Nope.
Then be on your way, Namdar.
Okay, bye. I'll just like trot off.
You can feel the eyes of the pack on you.
Yep.
When you feel you're a safe distance away, you can shift back to human if you like.
Oh, yes, because I can keep my clothes finally.
Yes. Congratulations on figuring out the basics.
Only took me a year. Okay.
Yep. No more duffel bag in your trunk with pants that say juicy. So, want to go home?
I guess so, yeah.
Well, you return to the Airbnb that the two of you have acquired. It's comfortable. Came fully furnished. Again, a little bit on the modish side. Everything's grays and blacks and whites and creams. It's like living in a catalog display, for better and for worse. You can't help but get the feeling of all the people who have stayed there. That sort of transitory sensation, the idea that there is no yesterday, but an infinite present. But stepping inside, you can smell something delicious cooking. Seems like Darian is up to his usual tricks of good old Kentucky cooking. Stepping inside. Who's home and who's hungry?
It's me.
Turns around, he's wearing an apron that says kiss the cook. Steps over to you, kisses you,
Mwah.
hands you a glass of wine. Find what you were looking for?
No. Well, sort of.
Sounds like a story. Come on, sit down. You're just in time. He sets out a plate of rather excellent southern food. I will spare you the details lest you get incredibly hungry. And what do you want to tell him about?
Well, I'll just tell him that I was just kind of looking to chat with the other werewolves just to get their take on Seattle in general.
So, did you find all the werewolves?
Well, not all of them, but there are some around here that I do not want to find.
What do you mean? Don't all y'all stick together?
No.
So, what'd you find out?
I mean, not a whole lot. There might be some other supernaturals around here that I'm not familiar with that I try to find and get familiar with.
Well, every major metropolis in America is supposed to have some kind of supernatural presence of one form or another. Tend to congregate around where the humans tend to as well. Always wondered about that myself. But I suppose you stick close to your prey, huh?
My prey.
Well, sorry. In training, we tend to hear that most supernaturals have a cannibalistic instinct towards humans.
Nope, nope, not me.
You feel that gentle feather touch against your mind as though he's reading you. All right. Look, I was thinking, it's been about a month here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like this town?
Huh. I mean, it feels weird.
We don't have to stay here. We could go any way you want.
I know it's weird, but I miss New Orleans, but I know I can't go back there quite yet.
Why?
This whole thing, not being able to have a pack, yada, yada, yada.
You don't have to have a pack to have a family. Look, I know this is all still pretty new for both of us, but my line of work and your line of work, it's hard to say what tomorrow brings, but it seems to me like you've done your part. I could put in for a transfer to something less in the field, pick a place, and I don't know. We could take this thing seriously and see how far it goes if you're willing.
But you know I have to fix something before I can.
I'm right here with you to help you.
Can't help me. No offense, but you're too squishy.
I have had training, you know.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, if you came up against something like me, I don't think you would survive.
Who says it's the first time I came up against something like you?
By yourself, with just me to defend you, I don't against a whole bunch of them.
Well, I didn't need anybody defending me, but I did have a team with me.
Well, see,
But they were all squishy too.
but they probably had a bunch of knickknacks.
Mostly just silver.
Mm.
And I'll be honest, I feel a lot safer with you by my side than six heavy response team members. Look, this world's too damn dark. We can't live our whole lives trying to run away from it or quench it. Sometimes you just gotta learn to live with the dark and fight it every day, day by day, piece by piece.
I'm not running from it, I'm running at it so I can fix it.
That's what I'm saying. You're trying to eat an elephant in all one bite. My daddy always told me the only way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time. You're little Miss Apex Predator. You ought to understand that.
This is something that I told you. I can't have anything that even looks like a pack right now.
Here's the question, out of character.
Yes.
Are you tempted?
Well, yeah. So one of my aspirations is to figure out how I can get out of this contract so I can have a pack.
Which is the exact moment.
Oh no. No.
Behind him, you can see the sliding glass doors, and you see the flash of yellow eyes. One pair, then another, then another. Blink, 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 blink. You know wolf eyes when you see them, but you also know these aren't werewolf eyes. and you know that this means you're being summoned.
And now I'm in trouble. I just get up and go, start walking towards the backyard.
Where are you going? Out the door you go. It's a generous backyard. Tall wooden fence. Trees. Trees that cast shadows in the moonlight. Shadows that the eyes retreat into. Do you follow?
Well, yeah, I have to. I'm not given a choice.
And in you go. Darkness gives way to the sweet, strange sap scent that you've come to associate with your summons. The vague sense of enclosed greenery. Darkness that isn't really darkness unless you agree that it's darkness. Trees, vines, hedges. And you step deeper within. The path is winding. The steps ahead of you, twisting and turning. It's a long journey. And a short one. Time is something you agree to here as well. Everything is an agreement. You can smell those who have trespassed through these ways too. You smell fear. You smell longing for freedom. You smell the hunt, but not the hunt as you know it. Not the sacred hunt. No, this is something different. This is the clatter of cold iron shackles. Sense of the familiar and the alien wed together. A sense of self lost. Fruits hang from a bush to your side, ruby red and dripping the same. They smell like blood, but sweeter. You step down another path and see a scrap of black cloth. And when you try to look at it, it's as though it crumbles away to ash just by having been seen. Around another curve, and you can see several of the vines have been slashed apart. And though they're already regenerating, the sap that seeps from it lets out a heady nectar smell. And then you emerge. You don't know where the other paths lead. You've never been through them. Only the once, following that man who you hated so much. And it didn't lead you too far. This place, though, this place you've come to know very well. Not that you've been here many times, but it leaves itself in your memory. The distant howls. The trees that are infinitely too large, stretching into an eternal night sky and a moon that is ever full. Cold and dead leaves swipe and swoosh past you, curling in the wind, bringing the scent of fear and musk and prey. River water tainted with the blood of the kill. The winds always blow from the north here. Here you can see the wolf eyes have resolved themselves into the entirety of wolfish forms. Here you can truly see that their eyes have still the lingering aspects of the humans they must once have been. They lead you on slowly. You're not their prisoner, but they are escorting you. Anything you want to do?
I mean, I don't want to go see the big bad wolf, but I don't have a choice, so.
In the distance, you can see exactly where you're going. A great cairn. Hills that lead to stones with a cave underneath, overarched by a great and twisting oak. It seems to lean over it, offering an unnatural kind of shade to the mouth of the cave, which yawns before you like a great mouth descending into the earth. The wolves stop at the entrance. It is for you to enter. The winds here are sheltered by the rocks, but still there is a breeze, warm and with the taint of a predator's breath. The scent of old meat and old kills whooshing outward at you, hot. The inhalation of cool air drawn in, brushing your hair back and forth with each one.
Take a deep breath and step inside.
The darkness is complete. You can see in the dark normally, that's not a problem for you, but here you have not agreed to see in the dark. Here you are beholden to the dark. Here you are beholden to everything, especially the great breathing shape before you. To call it massive is simultaneously an understatement and a lie. Because what is before you is not beyond conception of size. It is not gargantuan. It is not titanic. It is merely huge. But its size defies classification. To give it any size would be to try to place some kind of limit or understanding upon it, and that would be a mistake. It would be another agreement you haven't made. The shift of fur moves in different directions sometimes, rustling and wet, almost as though they were the coils of a snake, moving this way and that way and that way, all at the same time. But this is no serpent. The fur is wet as though it has been swimming, and yet it is dry as though it has been in the desert. It ruffles as though it is in the wind, and yet it is still as though it is in wait. You don't see the face, but you know it's there. You don't see the teeth, but you know they could bite. You see the eyes, and oh, what large eyes they are. All the better to see you. They always see you. My little lone.
What do you need?
I need you to be what we agreed you would be.
Well, I am. I haven't joined a pack. Still by myself.
I feel the temptation in you.
But I'm not acting on it.
That's not enough. I saw in you potential. I saw in you a kindred spirit. Something so like myself. My poor, pale children simply cannot compare to your potential. You could really be like me. Why then does your heart still try so hard to break free of what you really are.
Because I am also part human.
There's something to be said for the hunger in a human heart. Why are you rejecting it? And why are you trying to be just a wolf, just a woman? You can be more. You should be more. Never forget, I gave you your soul back. Sheltered it from the ones who wanted it. Recouped your mistakes and gave you a second chance, but only if you prove to be like me. Here your breath stinks of mortal food. Here you treat with others of your kind. You should be hunting them. They should be afraid of you.
Oh,
Second.
yep.
And I feel your heart, your temptation. I know that you desire your little mortal lover. Don't you?
I don't understand why you ask questions that you already have the answer to.
That's what I want. That's what I want, your independence. You chain yourselves to these creatures. I know the answer, but I don't understand it. Why?
Why does anybody? To feel belonging, to feel safety, love.
Safety is in strength, and love is something you should feel for yourself. They should all fear you. You don't want to be feared. You want to be loved.
I'd settle for respected.
Respect comes through fear. They'll fear you for your strength. They'll fear you for the legend of you. And legends are written in blood. When will you start writing your legend, little girl of the moon?
Well, I already wrote a legend in New Orleans.
That is a legend for one. A legend you wrote with others. A legend that was merely forcing back those who were trying to take what you had so unwittingly given them. I've given you a chance to be something they could never tame. I think your hunger is gone. And I think I liked it about you. I think you need to be reminded what it was like. And so you will. So remember. His hot breath, stinking of blood and meat, washes over you, and you feel a chill pass through you. Something potent, something you thought you were past, something you thought you didn't need to deal with anymore. You remember the taste of flesh. You remember what it was like to hear a scream cut off and to taste the last echoing bits of a soul as it's pulled into you. You remember what it felt like to hunt man and to complete the kill. The wolf draws back, and the shadows creep about you. And you're back in your backyard. And you can smell Darian. He smells delicious. Your move.
I'm gonna call my brother.
Pull out your phone. Deet, deet, deet. Pendergast Luxury Limos, how can I be of assistance?
Do you not have caller ID?
Oh, hey, sis. Are you using a new phone?
Oh, wait. Yeah, sorry. My old one broke.
That's cool. Seattle must be treating you real nice. Or Mr. Secret Agent Man, because I haven't heard you say sorry in a while.
Well, it was, but you know that whole thing where he lost my soul, then I got my soul back, and now I gotta deal with the stupid big bad wolf. I need to get out of this. You studied werewolves and things. Where can I go?
Wait, what?
You traveled all over the world studying werewolves and other supernaturals, and you should be able to tell me where I can go.
Okay, one, it was like a year, okay? And two, it was other werewolves, like you and me. And
no, not like
so,
me.
no, you are awful weird. But look, I mean, nothing prepared me for what happened in New Orleans, and there's no precedent for what you're doing or what you are or how it happened. It doesn't make sense yet. And I mean,
Okay, but I'm gonna end up eating Darian if we don't figure this out.
I thought you didn't want to eat people anymore.
Yeah, well, I told you, this is a problem. Big Bad Wolf, he's a problem.
Okay. Just, shit. Oh, God. I don't know. I mean, there's legends of werewolves overcoming the hunger. That's why it's one of the codes that we do not eat the flesh of wolf or man.
This is like some mystical shit. I need your help.
Well, I'm not a mystic, sister. Remember? I'm an Iraka.
Well, then, can you point me towards one?
In Seattle? I don't know who your local affair are.
Not in Seattle, somewhere.
Yeah, back in New Orleans, sure. But, things are kind of dicey here for you. What with them finding out about that which we will not say out loud.
So Marcus didn't keep his mouth shut. Lovely.
Oh, he did. Just they can feel the off. You stood against the incarna of a male Jin, and they could feel the synchronicity of it. There's rumors of your legend. Right now, you're about on par with a Gishtahu.
I don't know what that means.
It's another one of the rare auspices, the cannibal, the martyr. They're born under a blood red moon. They're born with the hunger for flesh and the madness that comes with it. Usually they're just put out of their misery early on. but the ones who somehow manage to put some kind of control over it usually martyr themselves in battle against a greater evil, sacrificing themselves to silence their hunger and buy some kind of redemption through it. But everyone knows you're a Namdar, a prophesied one at that part. For that point, that
I didn't hear that last part.
and one that is beholden to prophecy at that for that point. I just there's no precedent for you. You are different. You've done amazing things. I know you'll be welcome here, and in time, the good that you've done will overcome the bad they suspect, but that doesn't change the fact that it's going to take a little time. And right now, there's a lot of questions around here about who can be trusted. What with this whole shakeup of who's Prince of New Orleans, to say nothing of the return of the packs that were exiled to the freaking, I can't even think of the city.
What's to do, Rafe?
Well, if you're worried you're going to eat somebody, I'd probably not be around them for a start.
Okay, well, then where am I supposed to go?
Look, remember when I was in rehab?
Yes.
One of the things you learn is to avoid the things that are your temptation. Now, I'm not saying you can avoid all people, but, this isn't exactly good advice for everybody, because an addictive personality is an addictive personality, and replacing one addiction with another isn't exactly a good thing. But, I mean, if you're quitting smoking, you start chewing a lot of gum. Maybe you need to hunt. Just make sure it's not people. Fill your belly with the essentia of different creatures. Try to get out there, keep yourself busy, work it off. Look, the fact is, whatever's going on with you, it's going to be a long shot that a werewolf is the one who can offer the answers. Maybe if you can find a Gishtahu who still lives to this day, they might be able to offer some measure of wisdom for you. Maybe there's some Caliph or some Ithair. They might know something. If you can avoid becoming bound to spirits, some of them might have some answers. Shit. You're talking about a completely different entity from what we deal with, that you've made some kind of, deal with. Which means maybe the answer to a new problem is barking up different trees than what we would normally turn to. You're outside the purview of traditional werewolf lore here. What's the big bad want of you anyway?
Me to be some, celebrity werewolf, I guess. Apparently,
What?
taking down a Meljin is not enough to be talked about in legend and myth. He wants me to be like him.
Well, what does that mean?
I don't know. I'm not even quite sure what he is.
I mean, look, I'll start asking around, okay? But quite frankly, you go to people and say, what's the big bad wolf? They're going to start laughing at you. So I don't know who I'm supposed to talk to, but I'll start working my sources and I'll see what I can do, okay? The werewolves might still be suspicious, but the fact is you've still got a lot of friends back home. Call anybody you know. Knowledge is going to be your weapon here, so pick up everything you can and just use it, okay? And you tell me how I can help you, all right? You've got this. Is there anything else? You need some money? I'm doing pretty well.
Do I need money?
You know how to manage money. I don't know if you need money.
No, I don't need money.
Okay. Well, what do you I just want to help, sis.
Well, I need help. I don't know where to go.
I hate to say it, but probably far away from Darien.
Yeah.
Meantime, I mean, just start where you're at. Look, subjects of prophecy, especially when they're a namdar, I mean, you come to exist because the stars are in the exact alignment where they need to be to cause your first change at the exact place where you are. It's not just a role that you take on when you're ready. It's being in the exact right place at the exact right time. That's very rare for us. So maybe Luna is trying to tell you that you are meant to be where you are. Maybe not around Darien, but maybe there are answers in Seattle. Or, fuck it, get on a train. I know how much you value control. But this might just come down to spinning a roulette wheel and taking the first bus out of town that it lands on, Flip a coin for left or right. Get on a train, see where it goes. Get on a plane, see where it goes. Or just wander the city and see where your feet take you. I don't know.
Okay.
Or shit, maybe the only way out is through. Maybe you do what it wants you to do and it'll let you go. It's not my style, and I don't think it's yours either.
Nope.
But
can you just, if Darien calls you, just convince him not to follow me, okay?
I'll do my best. Guy's kind of stubborn, but
Yeah, I know.
maybe I can lead him on a wild goose chase that's less on the dangerous side.
All right. Thanks.
I like that guy.
Me too.
Well, you better. Followed him to the other side of the country. Or he followed you. Look, keep in touch, okay? Don't do this whole thing by yourself. If you were gonna, then you might as well just give in. Reach out to people, okay? You're not alone.
Okay.
Okay. I'll get to work.
Thanks. All right. Go back inside the house.
All right.
Stay far away from Darien.
Darien is not making that easy. He stands up. Hey.
Nope.
Walks over. What happened?
Nope.
What?
Nope. Stay away.
What did I do?
You didn't do anything. This is all my fault. I have to leave.
What?
I have to leave, and you have to stay here.
What are you
You have to stay away from me, okay?
Artemis, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Look, whatever it is, we can figure it out together.
No, we can't because right now you smell like food.
What? You just told me that wasn't a thing.
Well, apparently it's a thing again, and it's not. It's
again.
Stupid. It's the stupid thing. This contract, and
what?
I can't explain it. You need to talk to Rafe, okay? Call my brother. Call Rafe.
You said that you're making it sound like you sold your soul to something.
Well, yes, and then I got it back.
What?
but getting it back meant I had to sign a contract and I have to do certain things, and I didn't, and now I'm in trouble, and the punishment is you smell like food. So I have to go. Okay? But you can't come with me.
Artemis, look, this
Just-
isn't the first weirdness I've seen, okay? And whatever we
I
do, we
know.
can do this together. I can help you.
No, because you said that you felt safer if I was there fighting with you, right? Well, what if you're fighting me?
I don't believe that you would do that to me.
I do not necessarily have control over what I do. So you have to stay away. Okay? If you love me and you trust me, you will stay away, and I will fix this, and I will figure it out, and I will come back.
How can I help?
By
If
saying,
not with you, if not with you, then how can I help? Because you can't ask me to do nothing.
okay, then I need to find shoot, what was it called?
Damn, he smells really delicious.
Yeah, I know. What was it called that Rafe said I needed to look into? Sounded like kissing tacos.
Kissing tacos.
Like a kiss taco.
Gish tahu.
Gish taco. There we go.
I don't know what that means.
Okay, well, but you have resources, so if you can find me one of those.
All right.
Somebody who understands the mirror world and the big bad wolf.
Mirror world. Wait, whoa. This is starting to sound like a sci-fi channel or something.
Well, welcome to my life.
What mirror world? And the big bad wolf? That's just a fairy tale. Come on.
Well, no, not really.
I'm aware of the irony of saying that to my werewolf girlfriend, but that doesn't change the fact that that's a bit off the beaten path even for me.
Okay, well, that is what I need help with.
All right.
But I have to go, so I'm gonna pack a bag and I have to go before I eat you. I go to my room, throw some clothes in a bag, grab my purse and phone charger, and head out the door.
You've traveled enough in the past that putting your things together doesn't take very long at all. It's weird. You'd settled in here, and yet it took almost no time at all to leave it behind. One duffel bag, a backpack, and a purse. That's it. You catch the scent of him on his clothes next to yours in the dresser. You touch the fabric for 1 second, feeling the sentiment of the last time you remember him wearing that shirt. You remember burying your face in his shoulder. How weird it was knowing that you can become so much larger than him, but under normal circumstances, he's so much bigger than you. As you draw your fingers along the shirt, you feel that there's a bump inside it.
Oh no. I know what it is, so I'm not gonna look at it.
Down the steps you go. He's sitting in the living room, which has a clear view to the door, but is far away. He's leaning against the back of a chair, gripping his hands together very tightly in front of him. Looks up at you.
I'm sorry. This is my fault.
Don't say that.
No,
I really, really want to kiss you goodbye. And I'm not going to touch your mind because I don't want to feel what you're going through. I just want you to know I trust you. I trust you know what you're doing. I trust you know yourself. And I want you to know I want you to know I'm not giving up on you. So whenever you feel alone, or if for some reason you ever feel like a monster, I want you to know that I see the woman in front of me. Go on, get out of here. Do what you need to do. I'll be here.
I'm sorry. And I just leave. But before I walk out the door, I pause and then I turn and I'm just like, I love you. And then I leave.
For a second, you curse your excellent hearing. Because as the door closed, you heard him too. I love you. There are tears as you walk away.
I'm just gonna walk. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm gonna follow my brother's advice and I'm just gonna walk.
The winds blow harsh and cold off the Puget Sound. Wherever the hell that is. You hear the rustle of the trees, the distant howls, the vague scent of blood. Your feet carry you one direction, and then another, and then another. Sometimes you deliberately turn left and go straight for a while, or turn right. When your thoughts can bear to consider the situation